Alright, this is Crusader Kings 2, and this is Charlemagne expansion. And immediately you'll notice that things are a little bit different on the interface. The beginning, starting era here chooses things. This is the Charlemagne start. And you basically have a little blurb about each character. Well, these are all interesting characters. Charlemagne here, his brother, Charlemagne, Lombardy, who's Italy, Umayyad Sultan, the Caliph, and some guy in India. And it shows this for each of the things. Viking Age has Basileus and stuff like that, and yeah, the Carlings. Interestingly enough, it has the petty king of Jorvik instead of the guy from, the super guy up here, who's Giga Norway. And the Abbasid Caliph. Things like that. 1066 start. Basically, this is the pre-Norman invasion start, as you start with... Come up here. And if you click on each character, it'll give a description of stuff, etc. So it has these for pretty much all of the different starts, major starts, Mongol, late. This is the normal 1066 start, Old God start, and the Charlemagne start. But you can also go into custom game setup, and you can do the same thing you did before. With if you pick anything past the Stanford Bridge, you can move the time frames up, do stuff like that. You can still play the Old God start, where you still can't do things. And they changed the weather effects a little bit so that, look here, there's no snow on the map. So, because a lot of these start in winter, you'll have this snow on the map anyway. In any case, playing as the Charlemagne start, you have a lot of differences in the map. In that you actually have Charlemagne here, Karl of West Francia as he's called in the game, and Carloman here, Lombardy here, etc. But one of the notable things that they've changed is the religion stuff, and the holdings system, which I'll go into the game and show. There's a new Ibadi, what's it called? Heresy, because Ibadi is now a branch of Islam rather than being a Sunni heresy. So that's pretty cool that they've done that, and it's Courageite and whatever. The new Jewish starts down here in Ethiopia. I think that's Ethiopia. Whatever. There's a new Zunist religion, which looks like it. Oh, there it is. It's basically a sun worshipping thing. You start over here in Afghanistan, and you can reform it. I think it's a pagan religion, and I'm not sure if it can be reformed or not. I assume that it can, since it has holy sites. They changed Norse to Germanic. Did they remove that holy site? No. Because Saxony starts as Germanic, and Braunschweig is actually a holy site for them anyway. And of course, Slavic is much expanded. Suaminusco is, I think it's expanded. Maybe it's about the same. Tengri, about the same. Interestingly enough, there are characters who start as Manichean. And this guy starts, this is the new Zoroastrian start. Good luck, guys. So, this is way harder than the old one. There's probably some vassals in here who is Zoroastrian as well. Vandad Horsmod. Hey, this is Karen's. There you go. This is the new Karen start. Pretty much impossible. And one of the things about the pagans is they start tribal. Basically, they have different holdings that you can upgrade using prestige instead of money. And then you basically almost reform your government. This is basically what it is, reforming your government, like almost EU4 style, from being uncivilized to civilized. Notice that the Islam, like the actual places that are Islam, are actually quite small, but Islam actually controls quite a bit of land, so it's not really that dire of a situation. The Byzantine emperor starts as iconoclast, and I'm not sure what Paulican is. Paulician. It's probably just an Orthodox heresy looking at this. Like, Nestorian is a separate religion. As was Miaphysite. Those used to be Orthodox heresies. I don't think anything changed with these over here. I should really do some of the other starts, but I just don't play this game enough. Honestly, I really like this game. I should play it more. But there's another cool thing I want to show off, is that when you load a start, let's just load the Sicily start. I don't know if I'm going to be continuing that. Somebody commented that they were asking me if I was going to continue it. And I had completely forgotten that this was coming out so soon. So I kind of ignored it and started a game very close to the release, and, well, that was kind of a bad idea. Like 3 weeks ago, maybe. I'm on part 14, so that would be close to them. Apparently it auto-selects the Karens, who's now Sunni. Farabors, you traitor. Anyway, it brings up the start as kind of a bookmark on the map, which is actually pretty cool. And you can pick any other character. It looks like you can ruler design them and stuff like that too. So, say you were said, like we were playing as the Karen start, we saw a lot of interesting things happen with the Malfi, and was like, whoa, well, let's play as Malfi now. I have heard that republics are busted right now. So, I don't know about that. I'm just going to enter this to kind of show off some of the new mechanics, though. Really quick. So, one thing you'll notice appears that things are different, and my domain size is lower than it was before. And there's also a vassal limit. I actually really like this change, because it doesn't really limit, like, the potential for a world conquest. It just makes it so that it's a little bit more realistic in that you can't have like 100,000 guys, especially if you have a terrible ruler, because it's based on your diplomacy, which puts diplomacy as a kind of a premium if you're going to have a lot of vassals. Now, I only have 5, so it's not really a big deal. So if you had a smaller, more centralized empire, it wouldn't make any difference. Say you're playing England with kings under you, you know, and some dukes. You wouldn't really have a problem. This is now controlled by technology in legalism, and legalism unlocks a bunch of stuff. And legalism also doesn't do the short reign thing. That's moved to majesty, which makes it so that this isn't by far the most important tech you're going to get here, but it's still really important because it unlocks crown laws. As you can see here, you can't even get your levies and taxes. I don't even know why you would ever get this. It doesn't do anything. Like, this one doesn't do anything, but you have to get it to get this. To even get your levies maximum, you need to have legalism 7. And there are other things, too, about that. So, what was I going to say? Oh, the domain limit increase from this is taken off and put onto a new law called centralization. Right now I'm at decentralized vassal limit plus 10. Not really necessary for this character. So I'd probably go into the game and immediately go into low centralization. And you can see at the bottom there, government is not tribal. Tribal governments are a thing that pagans have at the beginning of the game. I think it grandfathered them to be normal things there. Feudalistic governments in this start. And then medium centralization is the basically the default. So we would have a vassal limit of 6. But if you'll notice, you can't unlock this until you have legalism of at least 2. So we would have that. We actually have the ability to go up to high, which would put our vassal limit to -5. Now, you can see here that we have a bonus from laws of 10. So we have a vassal limit of 29 right now. So we could definitely handle high centralization. I don't think that we can change it more than once for a leader, though. Apparently it also changed the elective laws. Now, I believe they changed the way elective works. And there's a new elective gavel kind. It basically is elective version of Gavelkind, so any case, you have, I think they changed some of the mechanics to determine who gets picked in an elective thing. In that they will be kind of gun-shy of picking people who they don't like, and makes it harder for the player to game elective, like I do, to basically pick your heir. To basically make primogeniture the best, so that you have to have your crown authority high to do that sort of thing. Basically to make primogeniture better. The interesting thing about that is that we could do that if we had reigned 10 years and no vassal count had a negative opinion of me. Oh, because the Byzantines have high crown authority. I could actually change to that. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. In our case, I wouldn't change anything because I've basically been doing that. Although it would change the last thing, where I picked the second son instead of the first son. There's a new button here to call any vassals or allies into war. I'm not sure if this works like Crusader Kings 1, where if you call your vassals into war, you won't get that vassals raised thing. In Crusader Kings 1, you could push a button and call them to war. And they'll say yes or no whether they're going to raise their levies under your control. And if you pull them up yourself, they get an opinion penalty towards her. So, different. I don't know if they added any different mercenaries or anything like that. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. But notable about the vassal limit, it is only people of count or above, and I have all dukes. All of these barons do not count. Mayors and stuff like that do not count towards the limit. So, that's cool. In a castle, they changed the name here. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just like, the king doesn't have one of those. I forget it was called like a strategos or something before. Maybe only the emperor has a strategos. There's also different choices here. Founding a new empire basically creates a titular empire. You have to have a lot of prestige, big realm. Our realm size is only 54. 3 kingdom titles and personal wealth of some money. Usually when you see non-round numbers like that, it's kind of a formula in some way. If you're a vassal, you can help liege with titles. And basically they will give you some titles if they like you and stuff like that, if they're above a certain domain limit, which case it's 4. You can go into hiding, which is something you can do if you've discovered a murder plot against your character or one of your direct family members, spouse. I think you can do that with your children. I can't. My brother's not on here because apparently he doesn't do what we tell him to do. And there's a couple of things on here, like you can't be a commander of an army and you can't be a counselor. So like this character could not do it because I'm the magistrate of the Byzantine Empire. Too much of a public figure to go into hiding and too important to the emperor for him to let us do that. So that's nice. And it gives you a -2 prestige per month. It gives you a -5 penalty to your diplomacy value. And it gives you a vassal opinion penalty. It also puts a regent in charge, because you're not a public figure anymore. So, I want to show something off, is that there's a new honorary title, which is perfect for Queen Mother Euphrasia here, in that she loves us a lot. We like her. She's really good, and she's absolutely loyal to us with her ambition with her children, because that's how they work in this game. There is a new honorary title, the Designated Regent. And if you select a character to become your designated regent, if anything happens that requires the regent, like going on a pilgrimage, or getting incapacitated in combat, or going into hiding, this character will be your designated regent. So you want to pick somebody loyal who isn't going to screw you over while they're the regent, and somebody who's really good, who's at least not going to be a downgrade when you select them to become effectively the leader of your country. And it gives a plus 20 opinion. So that's actually quite good if you have somebody who you trust, which this character does, but other characters may not. The question I really have at this point is whether I should continue this game or to play a different game. I kind of want to play around with the tribal mechanics in the north, and I guess the east. And so I'm probably going to leave this as kind of a video questioning. Well, should I keep doing this game, or should I switch to another one, or should I do another one and keep doing this? I still think we're in a pretty good position. I still think the save is good enough. I mean, it didn't break the save clearly, and I've played it. It runs with this. Oh, that's neat. Did they add islands to the Aral Sea? Like, you can see this one is owned by this county. This isn't here anymore. By the way, this thing's gone in real life. And if I were to do, like, I even thought about doing 2 of the starts, like, just try out the tribal mechanics. And I've never done like an India start. I've never done the Jewish start, which is down in Ethiopia now. And I really want to see the Zunists. Those guys seem like they could be really cool. They're pagans as well, so that would give me a chance to try the tribal mechanics. I've also never played a northern pagan as well. Let me know what you think. I had a question about whether I was going to continue this or not with that out, and that was actually what actually reminded me that, oh hey, Charlemagne is coming out, and it actually came out yesterday. So, yeah. So let me know what you think, and then I'll probably play around with this offline, just to see if I can parse out any of the mechanics, and hopefully they'll have another fix that fixes some of the bugs. Oh hey. In one of the starts, the flag for Hungary is different. So it must be that there's some titular stuff involved in there. And de jure, whatever. Okay. Well, I will see you later, and let me know what you think about this series and what I should do with it.